All right, y'all, we are live at the unveiling of the African American Monument Memorial at the Capitol. And Trevor's participating. Let's see if I can get
Yeah, you can work today.
All right.
We're getting ready to begin. We need to clear the aisles and walkways.
In fact, you can walk through here.
Clear the aisles and walkways. We're getting ready to begin.
How are you? Good to see you. Okay, but then you got it out there.
Yes.
I'm okay. I'll be better in a couple hours.
Right there.
Yes, ma'am.
Get down, bend down, whatever you need to do. Perspective. You need to get down and put on you.
But it's okay. I mean, the policy's done now. I do not represent.
Oh, you good, you good. I'm just zooming the crowd.
Saints fan.
Yes, ma'am. Are you a Saints fan? Oh, New Orleanian. You came here after Hurricane Katrina? Me too. Tiff-Tiff.
Another guy was a teacher. I named Dwayne. He was like, I got to get your picture. He's from New Orleans too.
Good morning.
Oh, awesome.
Good morning, everybody. We're getting ready to start here.
Huddle.
We're getting ready to start. My name is Bill Jones, and I am president of the Texas African American History Memorial Foundation. And on behalf of the foundation, we welcome each and every one of you here to this momentous and historical occasion. We would first like to give thanks to God for this beautiful weather that we're having today.
Yeah.
We'd like to welcome those of you from out of the state of Texas to Texas, where everything is bigger and better. When this foundation was formed, it had a singular purpose, and that purpose was to erect a memorial dedicated to Black history in Texas. Ed Dwight, a noted sculptor from Denver, Colorado, was commissioned to perform the artwork for this memorial. And when he was commissioned, he was given 3 instructions. Number 1, create a memorial that is historically accurate. Number 2, create a memorial that is aesthetically pleasing. And number 3, create a memorial that has emotional impact. And I am here to tell you, he has done all 3. And he has done so beautifully. What he has created will walk you through Texas history, but will include the contributions of Africans and African Americans to this state's rich past. So I want you to join me as we enjoy this program today, as we unveil his creation, and as we see the history of Texas through the images on the memorial. Please join me, if you wouldn't mind, by standing for the invocation by the Honorable Reverend Dr. Zan Wesley Holmes Jr., formerly of the Texas House of Representatives, 1968 through 1973.
Let us pray. Oh, gracious God, we turn to you in prayer today. because we know what kind of God you are. You are the God who brought us from alleys to paved boulevards. You are the God who brought us all the way from cotton to silk. You're the God that brought us all the way from overalls to three-piece suits. You're the God who brought us all the way from neck bones to T-bones. You're the God who brought us all the way from chitlins to caviar. You're the God who brought us all the way from the back of the bus to the front of the bus, to drivers of the bus, to owners of the bus.
All right.
You're the God who brought us all the way from slave ships to cruise ships. You're the God who brought us all the way from the outhouse to the White House. Not only once, but twice. And so we turn to you today to give you thanks for this significant and historical occasion, which brings us together to celebrate and give thanks for the Texas African American History Memorial. Indeed, it serves to remind us that our forefathers and foremothers have labored before us, and we all have inherited the fruits of their labors. Trees that we did not plant have provided shade for us in the noonday heat. Bridges that we did not build have carried us over many a troubled sea. Songs that we did not write have cheered us on in times of despair. Lamps that we did not light have brightened our pathway in the darkness of the night. Truths that we did not discover have enlightened our minds. Prayers that we did not pray have encouraged our souls when we were tempted to give up. So in times like these, forgive us and save us from the passivity that will not seek the truth, the prejudice that cannot see the truth, the pride that will not acknowledge the truth, and the paralysis that will not let us do the truth. Defend our liberties, increase and preserve our unity, and ever help us to stand for something good, noble, and true, lest we fall for anything. God, bless us with anger at injustice, oppression, and the exploitation of people, so that we may work for justice, freedom, and peace for all. God, bless us with tears to shed for those who suffer from pain, rejection, starvation, and war, so that we may reach out our hands to comfort them and to turn their pain into joy. And in the spirit of our ancestors, God, bless us with enough foolishness to believe that we can make a difference in this world, so that we can do together what others claim cannot be done. And as we go forth to face the brand new future that you are offering us, may the unveiling of this memorial represent the unveiling of a new spirit in this state and in this nation, in our world, which brings us all together as your children. And grant always that we will have about ourselves a noble sense of discontent with things as they are. And as we face this future together, grant that we will remember as a theme song, the song of the saints of old, we are moving up the upward way, new heights we're gaining every day, still praying as we onward bound. Lord, plant our feet on higher ground. Hallelujah and amen.
Amen.
Please remain standing for the posting of the colors by the Buffalo Soldiers of Texas, representing black soldiers that served in Texas in the 9th Cavalry and the 10th Cavalry from the 1870s to the late 1800s.
Yes, sir.
Mission granted.
Mark time. March. Left about. March. Detail. Halt. Colors. Halt. Present. On.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Left face. Forward. March.
Every voice and sing till earth and heaven
Ring with the harmonies
of liberty. Let our
rejoicing
rise high as the listening skies.
Let it resound
Resound
loud as the
rolling seas.
Loud as the rolling seas. Oh, sing,
a
oh, sing a song.
Full of the faith that the dark past has
describes us now facing the rising sun of our new day begun.
Let us march on till victory is won.
Is won.
You may take your seat. Now to introduce special guest is the Honorable Helen Giddings from the Texas House of Representatives, Chairman of the Texas Legislative Black Caucus, and member of the Texas Memorial History Foundation member.
Thank you very much and good morning. On stage, let me begin with our Governor, Greg Abbott, seated next to Governor Abbott, Senator, County Commissioner-elect Rodney Ellis, the wonderful artist Ed Dwight, Mayor Sylvester Turner, Dr. Zan Wesley Holmes Jr., and our MC and President, Mr. Bill Jones, and board member of the foundation, Demetrius McDaniel. Everybody here is certainly important this morning, but we do want to say special thanks to a few people. I believe in our audience is our First Lady, Cecilia Abbott. Thank you for being here, Mrs. Abbott. The Honorable Burt Richardson of the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals. And members of the Texas Legislative Black Caucus, Senator Royce West, Senator-elect Boris Miles, Representative Symphonia Thompson, Representative Harold Dutton Jr., Representative Garnet Coleman, Representative Yvonne Davis, Representative Joseph Desatel, Representative Alma Allen, Representative Eric Johnson, Representative James White, Representative Ron Reynolds, Representative Tony Rose, Representative Celia Israel. She's not a member of the Black Caucus, but she's a wonderful member. Representative Jarvis Johnson, Representative Laura Thompson, and a former member of the Legislative Black Caucus and someone who made so many contributions, particularly to higher education, former member Wilhelmina Delco, and other members of the legislature who are here, Senator Jose Rodriguez, Representative Armando Wally, Representative Elliot Naistat, Representative-elect Gina Hinojosa, and I know that there are many members who are members here who are elected officials. First Vice Chair of the TLBC, Nicole Collier. And I think I have introduced all of the members of the Texas Legislative Black Caucus and other members who are here. If not, you'll let us know before we finish, and we will do that. Other people, obviously, that we want to introduce. The family of the artist, Ed Dwight, is here. Would the Dwight family please stand so that we can recognize you? The Honorable Michael Williams, who is the former commissioner of the Texas Education Commission. Rod Welch, Executive Director of the State Preservation Board. John Sneed, the former Executive Director of the State Preservation Board, and someone that we worked very, very closely with. John, thank you for all that you did. Gary Bledsoe is here, President of the NAACP of Texas. Dr. Gregory Fenves, President of UT Arlington. Pardon me, my school, I wanted to get on the program. He's actually President of UT Austin. Margaret Bonds and Randy Palachek from Parsons Corporation. Ms. Eleanor Melcher, who is the great-great-granddaughter of former Senator Walter Moses Burton. Mrs. Louise Truitt, great-great-great-granddaughter of former Senator Walter Moses. And all the way here to be with us from the California Assembly, Assembly Member Kevin McCarty, who is the treasurer of the California Legislative Black Caucus and the great-great-grandson of Benjamin Franklin Williams, who is a black legislator who served during Reconstruction and also served as pastor of Wesley United Methodist Church here. Former member Terry Hodge is here. And then I don't want to neglect to introduce the brothers, former member Al Edwards, who was the father of this idea. And so Al is ill, but in his stead here, his brothers, David Edwards and Riddick Edwards. Thank you all very much. If I missed you, nothing intentional, slip me a note and we'll make sure we get you too. And now I will move on to the reading of the congratulatory letter from George W. Bush. On behalf of the Black Caucus and the African American Historical Memorial Foundation, we're overjoyed that this day has finally come, where the stories of struggle, resolve, and triumph of African American Texans will finally be honored on the Capitol grounds. We owe so many an enormous debt of gratitude for speaking up and speaking out so that this important moment was possible. Many may not realize that one of those who deserves our gratitude is the 43rd President of the United States and our former governor, George W. Bush. In 1993, President Bush, then Governor Bush, signed SCR 97, which directed the State Preservation Board to include in its long-range master plan a permanent monument in tribute to African Americans and Mexican Americans. In 1997, President Bush allocated money for the Juneteenth monument, which was critical in moving us to where we are today. We thank President Bush for his partnership in bringing this moment to these grounds. Although he regrets that he could not be with us today, he wanted to provide a statement of support for this initiative. And I read that statement and that letter to you now from President George W. Bush. Greetings to those gathered on the south lawn of the Texas State Capitol in Austin, Texas, for the unveiling of the Texas African American History Memorial. Throughout our nation's history, the talents of African Americans from all walks of life have strengthened our country and enriched our cultural fabric. The story of their many contributions and their hard-fought achievements should be safeguarded for future generations. As governor, I was pleased to approve funding to create a place to reflect on the African American experience in Texas, and I am pleased that it stands here today. This monument is an important addition to the grounds of our state capitol because it shows America's commitment to the truth. Our country was founded on the promise of liberty, but held millions in chains. Although some spoke of the evils of slavery, their voices were often not heard. This monument demonstrates our capacity to change. After decades of struggle for equality, the Constitution that originally treated slaves as 3/5 of a person was finally amended to guarantee equal protection of the laws. Even today, the journey toward justice is not complete, but I pray that this place of remembrance will inspire all who visit to go further and to get there faster. Finally, this monument highlights the achievement of some of our finest Texans. Hendrick Arnold and Sam McCullough fought for our great state when it was a republic. We should never forget their service and their sacrifice. Laura and I appreciate the members of the Texas African American Memorial History Foundation, chaired by Bill Jones, the Texas Legislative Black Caucus Chair, Representative Helen Giddings, sculptor Ed Dwight, as well as the Texas State Preservation Board, and all who worked so hard and contributed so much to make this memorial a reality. We send our congratulations on this historic occasion and our best wishes for a memorable and meaningful ceremony. May God bless you. May God bless the Lone Star State. And may God bless America. George W. Bush.
Well, it's been a long time coming, hasn't it? First, I want to recognize the sponsors. They're in the program, but I'm going to call them out because it took us a long time to get this money. And if I left your name off, give us some more money. And we will have another program and call it again. First of all, the great state of Texas was the lead underwriter. Gulf States Toyota, an anonymous donor, God knows we want more of those. HEB, Houston Endowment, the Meadows Foundation, Bass Foundation, President George W. and Laura Bush, Chevron, Edges Incorporated, John Now, Parsons, AT&T, K-Max, Centerpoint Energy, Greenberg Tarek Foundation, Demetrius, Hobbitsell Foundation, Steve and Joella Mock, the Robert and Janice McNamara Foundation, James D. Pitcock Jr., Najad and Ziana Fars, Perry Homes, Phillips 66, AECOM, CM Garver, Raymond Financial Services, Texans for Rick Perry, Edwin Jones Company, Airbnb, Walmart, Texas Central Partners, Dallas Police Officers Association, Houston Police Officers Association, Hunt Consolidated, Matthew Southwest, Texas Municipal Police Officers Association, the Honorable Michael Williams, Dallas Area Habitat for Humanity, Houston Habitat for Humanity, Mary Kay, University of North Texas, Bobby Lau, Microsoft, and anybody else who wants to give today. Would you give all of our donors a warm round of applause? Helen reminded me the University of North Texas at Dallas. Thank them as well. Give them a round of applause.
All right.
Now, in the program, you will see the bio of Ed Dwight. But instead of reading it, I want to encourage you to read it instead of me doing it. I want to encourage you to go online and look him up and also listen to the numerous video discussions of him online. I met Ed Dwight when I was a young man working in Washington, D.C. At the time, he had invented this concept of a floating jazz musician. And he was so popular in the 80s in Washington, D.C., Governor, virtually every member of Congress, black, white, or brown, Democrat, or Republican, knew of Ed White and wanted one of his pieces. Ed White started off studying to be a pilot. He was tapped by President Kennedy to go into a program to be the first African American to be an astronaut. When President Kennedy was assassinated, his ability to do that vanished as well, to be an astronaut. Then he went on to be a successful entrepreneur, dropped out of the military. He lived in Texas for a short while, and he was really later on in life when the first African American lieutenant governor of Colorado went to the home of Ed White and his lovely wife and saw what he was doing and said, why don't you do something that really gives people an appreciation for what African Americans have done in the state of Colorado? He did that and did that well. In fact, he did it so well, he decided to go back and get a master's degree in fine arts from the University of Denver. He is one of the most respected sculptors and artists in the world.
Excellent.
It was a very easy decision when this board got together to think about who could do this sculpture for Texas. Mm-hmm. And Ed White really put his heart and soul in it. And I want to tell you, it's not been easy. It wasn't easy to raise this money. But for about 5 years, virtually all Ed White did was work on this monument and also research the history of Texas. He came here on numerous occasions with Bill Jones. They go to the reference library. They look at who built this building. They looked at who contributed to the success of African Americans. They looked at our pain, and they looked at our failures, and they looked at our successes. When you look at this monument, you will see the face of Texas. Would you please, first of all, again, recognize that village that it took to do this monument, Ed White's family. Give them another round of applause. And lastly, before I take my seat, would you give a standing ovation to the great Ed White?
Yeah.
We will now have remarks by the governor of the state of Texas, Governor Greg Abbott.
Well, thank you, Bill. And as Rodney pointed out, today has been a long time coming. On behalf of the First Lady of Texas, as well as on behalf of everybody who lives in this state, I offer our deepest gratitude for everyone up here and across the audience today, and even those who may not be with us, for their tireless efforts to see this memorial forged and installed in its rightful place at the very front of the Capitol grounds of the great state of Texas. To know where we are going in life, we have to understand where it is that we have come from. The triumphs, the tragedies, the lessons that we learn along the way on the past. They are a legacy for the generations that are to come forward in the future. But chapters have been missing from the story of Texas. That changes today. Today we come together, all Texans, to proudly honor the African Americans who helped to grow Texas from the bounty of our land, from the sweat of their toil, from the aspirations and passions of their dreams. The fact is that African Americans have shaped this land that we are on today since long before it was even named the state of Texas. They fought for their own freedom. They fought for the freedom of Texas and the freedom of the United States of America. Now, we cannot ignore the inhumanity of slavery and struggle, but we can celebrate the long path to freedom, from the Civil War to the Civil Rights Movement to this very day. We must condemn the slavery of a man in Waco, Texas, at the time of the Civil War. But we can celebrate the fact that his descendant rose up to be the Chief Justice of the Texas Supreme Court. That is what Texas can do. Despite some successes along the way, we realize there is more work yet to be done. If we are to truly elevate our state to its limitless possibilities, we must continue to expand opportunity and liberty for absolutely everybody in the Lone Star State. The fact is, the future of the state of Texas is yet to be written. And all of our state's children are going to be authors of that future of the state of Texas. May this monument be a reminder to them of the profound way that Texas has been advanced by African Americans. And may that torch of freedom atop that monument light the way for all of us as we continue to make Texans the beacon of opportunity for everyone in this state, of every race and every color. May God bless you all, and may God forever bless the great state of Texas.
Thank you, Governor, and certainly to the United States Senator Cornyn, who was with us earlier and still may be with us now, to all of our congressional leaders, and certainly to those that are in the Texas House of Representatives, the Texas Senators, to all of the elected officials who are here, to Ed Dwight and to his family, his wife, his sister, his son, and relatives, to all who have served in whatever capacity in elected office, and to all of you who are here. Let me just say that this has not been an easy journey. And I'm not referring to the raising of money or to the construction of this monument. I am talking about the history of African Americans in the state of Texas and where we are today. And sometimes we focus only on the now. But I think it's important to note that this journey didn't begin yesterday. It didn't begin 10 years ago. It began a long time ago in this state. And look at where we are today. I think that speaks volumes. Let me not be long, because I think everyone is anxious to see the monument itself. Let me just say to you, yesterday evening, Ms. Delco, I was getting ready and was about to shave, and I still use the same razor that my dad used, and the razor is about 70 years old. And I forgot that I had put the double-edged blade in the razor, and I just went and grabbed it, and I cut myself very badly. And that was yesterday evening. And it hurt, and it was painful. And I started to complain, so to speak. And then I remembered about this weekend, about what we were about to do today and in a few minutes. And the pain of that cut cannot anywhere compare to the struggles that African Americans have faced in this state. And oftentimes we refer and relate to our current struggles as if we are enduring a great deal. Today's monument symbolizes so much more. And so when we think about our challenges, in many ways, you'll see that in this monument. When we think about our enslavement, you'll see it. When you think about the sacrifices that so many have made, you'll see it. Our struggles and our pain and our tears and folk who have died along the way, you will see that. Our triumphs, our successes, our victories, you'll see some of that. Our talent, God-given and fine-tuned, you'll see that reflected. The contributions that we have made on whatever level, you'll see that. And this monument in so many ways will reflect and will speak to those people who are not necessarily seen on the monument, but are part of our history. Senator Ellis spoke about an anonymous donor, someone who gave, but you do not know their names. In many ways, when you look at this monument, it reflects on those anonymous contributors, African Americans who bear no name today, people who have sacrificed and do not bear their names, mamas and daddies, grandmama and grandfathers, uncles, nieces and nephews, sacrifice, and we don't necessarily know their name. This monument is an attempt to capture all of that. And quite frankly, when you look at it, I think we should all be reminded that we just did not get here by ourselves. And sometimes we are so prone to think that where we are is because of what we have done and how smart we may be and the fact that we made it happen. But lest we forget, this monument stands as a marker that no matter how smart you may think you are, no matter how gifted you may be, and no matter what contribution you may have made, we are standing on the foundation and the shoulders of people who have sacrificed to get us where we are today. And so that's what you will see. Someone once wrote that children are messengers to a world, to the future that we ourselves may never see. What sort of future shall we send them? Well, today, this monument is a message to children and generations yet to come, that when they think, Representative Allen, that the road is rough, that life is so unfair, that they can't make it, that the odds are against them, when there's a tendency for us to kind of get depressed and think that woe is me, hopefully they will come to the Capitol, walk past this monument, look at those who are here at the very beginning, look at the contributions and the struggles they have faced, look at where we are, and it will serve as a marker that they too can make history and they too can move forward. I am not the mayor of the city of Houston, the fourth largest city, because I am so smart and because I am so gifted. I am the mayor of the city of Houston because those folk that are on that monument paid the price that enabled me to be where I am today. And I give credit to every single one, named and unnamed, that's on that monument that says together we can get where we are. And so to Al Edwards, my brother, my friend, I say thank you. To Edna White, I say thank you. To the anonymous contributors, I say thank you. But the best for African Americans has yet to come. To God be the glory for the good he has done.
One third up.
Yeah.
I can just say the benediction, right?
All right.
I can just say the benediction. In Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, Malvolio said, "Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them." And I'm here to offer a special tribute to someone who has really been in all three of those categories. He has selflessly led this great effort, and as much as this effort has been a substantial team effort, starting with Representative Edwards many years ago, and many members of the legislature, not only the Legislative Black Caucus, but other members of the legislature, Appropriations Chairman, Finance Chairman, and Senate. Recently, in the last 20 years, there has been one person who has really almost single-handedly been responsible for all of us being here today, and that person is Sylvester Turner. Sylvester Turner will not toot his own horn, so those of us here on the board of the Texas African American Memorial History Foundation will do it for him, and this is a surprise. He didn't know this was coming, so it's really nice to know that you can keep something even from the mayor. But Sylvester Turner has raised, with the help of folks like Governor Abbott and Lieutenant Governor Patrick, Speaker Strauss, able to put money in the state budget for this monument. Also, while he was running for mayor and before, he reached out to friends and supporters and folks who had confidence in Sylvester Turner and raised over $1 million. So over 80% of the funding for this incredible monument was a result of the hard and dedicated work of Sylvester Turner. Many of you know Sylvester, you know his story. Grew up sharing a one-bedroom with 8 brothers and sisters, grew up in Acres Home, was forced to go to Klein High School, wound up being class president right after integration of Klein High School, went on to the University of Houston, went on to Harvard Law School, ran for the legislature, and is now the mayor of the 4th largest city in the country. So the history of this state is embodied because as he speaks about all of those nameless folks, they now have to be acknowledged because someone like Sylvester Turner, whose mother was a maid at the Rice Hotel, whose dad was a painter, and took Sylvester and his brothers to mow yards on weekends, those are the people who have raised the next generation of leaders of the state of Texas. And so on behalf of the board, I want to ask the mayor to come forward, and I'll ask my fellow board members to come join me. Thank you for joining us too, Ed. Mayor, we want you to know that all of those 7 a.m. conference calls and 10 p.m. conference calls and meetings and the tireless work that you gave to make this monument a reality is in fact greatly appreciated. And what we have gotten here is a star, which is when you see the monument, the rosettes in the corner are fastened by a star. This is made by the same foundry that made the star, which anchors those monuments, those plaques onto the monument. And you have anchored and led the way from day one in a very selfless way. And we cannot ever thank you enough, but we hope that you will take this momentum with the loving inscription that it has on the back to know how much and how eternal our gratitude is for your incredible help and leadership. Thank you. Very heavy.
Can we get the Legislative Black Caucus members to come to the memorial to help with the unveiling that are here? The Texas Legislative Black Caucus members that are here. Now we're going to let Frank, who is with the Mark Christensen group, the group that actually built the foundation for the monument, installed the granite for the monument, floated the monument over these trees, and set it down on top of the granite base, and attached the figures on top. And I think Mark Christensen is here. There you are. Mark, wave your hand. Give Mark a round of applause for their work. They worked tirelessly on this thing. I think Frank drove down here 3 times this week, all the way from Baytown, just to make sure the parachutes were right on this thing. So members and fraternity members and sorority members, y'all need to do what Frank tells you, because he's the only one that knows how to get this thing off.
Y'all need to keep this clear for me. This has to be clear.
I know it. I know it.
Are you out there? All right, I thought you were. You get it now.
Look, Tiff. I'm live, Tiff.
We got Dustin Carr here from the Christensen group also. He supervised the project. Dustin, do we have people in the back?
Go live on Facebook. What's up, brother? He looked at me as he was coming off like,
That's my nephew.
Right, man? I was going to pull it down, right?
And Ed, where are you? I'm here. Okay, tell us what to do.
Ready? Ready, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Pull it.
Stop pulling. Oh my, Frank, go, Frank.
Okay, Frank, you turn around.
Frank.
Ooh, don't hit your head.
This is Frank time to shine. Frank's famous on Twitter now.
Put both of us down right now. Congratulations.
Hey, Tiff, go get you some lunch, Tiff.
I will, thank you. Yes. Good to see you. Isn't this nice? This is right. Yeah, I'm trying to get it. I'm about to stand at an angle or something. Oh, the governor trying to get it. Hey, John, take care, man. Hey, appreciate you. Awesome. John, what's your name? Okay, I'll email you. You're so on it. I'm telling you. Thank you, John. I always
Hey, Facebook. Tiff-Tiff. Tiff-Tiff in the house. State Capitol.
Watch Miss Unveil.
All right, that's good. Yeah, this winner. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Hey, sweetheart, you get it?
Yes, ma'am. Look, everybody was thanking me for going live. Yes. Yes. Look, wait.
Hey.
Put me in here with a net. Come on.
Oh, she got to do it.
You on live.
We're live.
They said, Powerful Anointing say, hey.
Hey. My Zion in the house. Right. We here.
Your cap's on.
We would like to
I knew that. I was just talking.
Boy Scouts of America. Trevor White was the Boy Scout that led us in the pledge. The Star Spangled Banner and the Live Every Voice was the Interversions Gospel Choir. Alpha Kappa, Alpha sorority, Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, Omega Psi Phi fraternity.
Really make your mind up.
You're gonna make her. Oh, she's there. She ain't going to come home.
Where's Alpha? Go to Alpha's house. Go to Alpha's house.
No.
Go to Alpha's house.
And take me with you, that's what she'll say.
All right.
He did a job on that. Yes, and what's that, the Emancipation Proclamation? Oh my God.
Jeff, taking a picture around back.
And Senate District 13, right?
Yeah, we're gonna come back here. I'm going to look at the back.
That look like him right there. Oh, let me get a picture.
Y'all gonna see these pictures now, right?
Yeah.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, you probably got a couple cameras. He gonna take it.
Can I get one more this way? 1, 2. That's good, gentlemen. Thank you.
Ice. Ain't a lamp. Austin. Just over EI.
Are they?
This is our simple friend.
No one knows. Is everybody doing it?
Hey, everybody go.
Everybody go through it. There we go. 3, 2, 1.
What's that? I'm getting this. Great. All right. Damn Ada Lambda chapter, Alpha Incorporated. President, Ray Christopher Williams, Vice President Eric L. McDaniel. That's the one I got it down, bro.
Say hey to Facebook. Hey Facebook.
Hey Facebook.
But I'm gonna get you to do some stuff for me.
Okay. Yes, sir. I have some
I look It's okay. I needed to walk in it.
Oh, it's on Facebook. It's not a picture. I don't know where my nephew at. Josiah's supposed to be taking the pictures. I wish Josiah was right beside me. Let me find him.
You guys look great. Thank you so much. Sorry you lost, man.
Well, very good. Where's the food? It's over the white tent on the other side. Oh, the white tent on the other side. Okay, and they started at 11. They ain't know we was going to sit with you. I gotta find them. I'm trying not to hear that.
I might. So it's one of those where.
So how do we get over?
I know. All right, Jake. It's great to see you. Thank you for being today.
I'm like, where's Josiah?
Where did you go?
I was up.
Getting the statue.
I got up front.
So told me.
You didn't see me move?
No, I was staying at the statue. I was waiting for them to hold.
When you saw I was standing right there, and then I stepped up here, and then I stepped up here.
No, the top.
Yeah, you have to wait till everybody clear out. Here he is.
Now you got the Black Lives Matter people.
I found him. He was looking for me.
Are you the cameraman?
He's supposed to be taking pictures.
Uh-oh. Oh, you got it. That's hers.
That's what you took it for her. Once everybody clear out, you can get good pictures.
That's a nice picture. What? The tall guy and the kids. And then I got some of the other crew.
Okay, and there's some stuff on the back around on the other side of it.
We gotta head over
on the back of it. Yeah, I'm gonna come once everybody clear out. Like after everybody goes. Tiff was like, come on, let's go eat. I lost her.
Tell him I haven't stuff.
There's food on the other side of the tent.
I know. I'm doing well. I've been on.
Come follow me, Josiah. All right, y'all. Okay, I'll see you later. Deacon Black wanted you to get that picture. I found him. I don't know if you could do up close. How the up close ones come with this? Can you get me in the cheeks?
Yeah. Let's do it right here. So who we gonna have? I don't know. I told you. Oh, fantastic. I was in an elevator and they said, well, sorry.
Take a picture of me with him.
I feel terrible.
Thank you. I've seen a couple of hooligans out here.
Being in business, so I'm a native Estonian. The mayor is. He gets it, doesn't he? Man, unbelievable.
You could get pictures after everybody clear out, because right now it's.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch the lens out, so.
Yeah, because now that you're up close.
What can I do? I know. We want to take care of the girl. He doing the stuff, so I know. And I put him up there, so I know I got to be all right.
Oh, Harold.
I know, I get on there. I'm just
Who's not in CU? Harold said.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Your behalf of American history, but also to say that too much serious. Too much
I will. You may see him before I do. Okay. I don't have any idea where he went.
All right, yeah, get him in. Anything. Yes,
I want to get a picture with the guy who designed it, or Dwight. See if I can get around there.
That's what he's doing.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Wait a minute.
Wait, 1, 2, 3.
I've had to testify in front of her. I was taking my boots. I'm going to testify in front of this.
Oh, the chief? Chief of police?
I am.
Can we get one more picture, please?
But it's hard to see.
Let's see if you can get this picture, Josiah.
No. Well, I hope that's one of the
Let me see.
Here's I can't practice. So I said, I come back, but I can't come and practice every week. If it's a way to practice over there, I'll do it.
You don't need any practice.
Okay, we'll get you.
Oh, yeah, that's him.